Hey guys, it's me, back at it again with an original video idea. A few of you may find some of this familiar, methinks, not the challenge itself, but rather the gameplay, as these games were actually played live on one of my streams. You may not be able to tell since it looks pretty much the same as a normal video, but that's cause I did a little bit of editing to make it look that way. My stream layout has got some extra stuff to the side. So yeah, not exactly a first for me. I remember around 1.5 years back I uploaded stream footage of the mega tournament, but we're bringing it back this time because I was too lazy to try to record this green balloon challenge on my own will outside of the stream. I'll talk a bit more about streaming and stuff in a bit, but as per usual I have to run down the instructions of this challenge for anyone who's out of the loop, although I reckon at this point most are already aware. Basically for every video in this mini-series we're going to be trying to win by sending only one specific type of balloon, slowly working our way up from red balloons all the way to ZOMGs. We're only at level 3 at the moment, which is greens. It's hard to say whether this challenge gets easier or harder the higher the balloon tier you go up to, because 1-0 cobras are a pretty decent substitute for when you can't send any eco balloons at all. I'm just going to say it gets slightly easier when you reach the pink/black/white balloon stage, but after that the difficulty begins to increase as all the good eco balloon sends start to become unavailable. I don't have the comment with me right, but I believe somebody asked the question of whether or not I would start dropping the cobra once I get to rainbows and opt for the kill with such all-in rainbow rushes instead. My answer to that is probably not. I'll probably bring cobra every time just to be safe, because if their D is solid enough to defend everything early on, the cobra adjustment is a good win condition to fall back on. You'd be surprised how deadly round 25 and up are when dozens of cobras are working their magic. Now the goal is to always try our best to avoid screwing up and sending the wrong type of balloon, but at times that's just too hard to do when you're not playing the game at full screen and are constantly required to move your cursor back and forth between sending balloons and placing towers. Let us not forget the second factor too, which is simply being distracted and not paying attention when attempting this challenge on stream, which as some of you may recall happened on 2 separate occasions, both times having to forfeit as I accidentally bended the rules way too much. So now's a good time to transition back to the streaming topic I said I would go back to earlier, although somewhat perfect timing too because this game is about to end in a DC unfortunately. I'm still going to count that as a legitimate win, though because I pretty much had him on his last straw there. He sold all his farms for an aircraft carrier, so I know for sure he would have died eventually due to lack of income. Yeah, aircraft carriers. You don't see that every day. You may have also noticed at the end of the game that there was some pretty good timing on a donation there. I'm mentioning that because things like those are something I most likely can't edit out when I'm doing these stream highlight post commentary videos, unless I want to drag the alert outside the game and display it in a tiny box in a corner instead. No thanks I say to that. So from time to time you'll see a donation, sponsor, or subscription pop up here and there. Hopefully that isn't too obtrusive, although I reckon some of you may actually prefer that instead of nothing at all, cause sometimes it could add some quality entertainment. While I'm on the topic of showing stream pop-ups and whatnot in permanent videos, one decision I made was to cut out the stream chat from the video. The chat box I do display on screen during the stream, but I had to cut it out here in order to make the layout similar to that of my usual videos. Here's where you guys come in though, cause perhaps it may be better to sacrifice the usual video layout in exchange for a quote-unquote post-stream experience, where you can see what people in the chat are talking about while I'm busy playing these matches. So for the first time in a very long time, I'm going to throw up a poll in the top right corner asking you guys what you would prefer if I ever decide to turn stream games into videos in the future, which is probably going to be the case. To leave off the chat or to include it in the video, you guys decide what you want to see. I'm pretty much I know what the majority wants, but hey, Let's just see the statistics anyway. As a geek and computer science nerd, I love looking at stats and numbers. Unless it's multivariable integrals, I want to stay away from that as far as possible for the rest of my life. Vote away, ladies and gentlemen. Now returning back to these tournament games as I pick up win number 2 against K-Beer. Unfortunately, this is the point where the tournament games restart, because the game after this one was where I done goofed. Feels real bad, cause it would have been pretty legendary if I won the entire tournament with this handicap, and with people knowing I was handicapped and wouldn't be sending anything but greens at them. We can always try again though, but as you can probably tell by the length of the video, there doesn't look to be enough time left where I could fit in another 4 set of games, from the round of 16 all the way to the finals. Nonetheless, here's a first round tournament game against Lightning. He's got the monkey sub, which is a little spooky for me because his third tower can easily decide whether or not I win or lose this game. The reactor is pretty good at destroying all the AI balloons as long as the brown hard layer is ripped off the ceramic balloons. We got a lot of this game left to go, so back to stream talk. I feel like that's a good thing to talk about because it's relevant to my channel now that I plan to integrate streams into my channel more and more, and slowly increasing the quality in the process. I got the internet problems controlled for the most part, thankfully. If you were there for any of the earlier streams, you'll know that was a pretty big stream turnoff, so that was definitely problem number 1 that needed to be fixed. Bless the monkey heavens for this thing called a power line adapter. Sadly, I'm still stuck with my toaster computer and toaster microphone, so I'm not sure I can run a smooth 720p stream at this moment. It'll probably stay at 480p until I get an upgrade, but it should be okay because BTD is not really one of those games where you need to see every pixel in great detail, unless of course you're watching on a 60-inch 4K TV. A new toaster computer may take a while to haul in, but I think a less toaster microphone is much more accessible and would do wonders for stream quality, so once I get that in a few weeks or so, you should make sure to tune into one of my streams. Generally the stream dates are any of Wednesday, Thursday or Friday, so just tell your boss or your principal that you're only going to show up for Monday and Tuesday, and everything should be Gucci. Alright, enough about streaming, cause we be rolling in the dough, boys and girls. Picking up a 3rd win in a row, and this one was probably the closest one yet, although that doesn't really say much. Lightning was able to get up an early bank, so that scared me a little bit, but he definitely lacked the ceramic popping power needed for the reactors to do their work, and that was basically game. Now for what may or may not be the final game on the video. Flashbacks to the temple map where I got boned on really hard last time doing the blue balloon challenge. No more goofing around with wizards, I guess. Time to pull out all the stops with a bomb tower and tack as our 4th tower to boot. A pretty good combination, I must say. Anyways, if you are a Christian watching this video, you may have been pleasantly surprised to hear that I have not yet sweared in this video, which is something to be noted because I would say about 75% of my videos I drop the F-bomb, the S-word, or something similar here and there. F standing for fire truck and S standing for schnarf, of course. Now the reason I've avoided using those kind of words in this video, and most likely for future videos, is because YouTube. The stats are out for the blue balloon video, and the first thing I noticed was that my earnings were miles lower than any of the previous videos I made. There could only be one possible explanation for that. I said some pretty obscene things at the start of the video. Couple that with some F-bombs sprinkled across the video, and the YouTube algorithm probably caught on and hit me with the half demonetization hammer. Thankfully not full demonetization, but screw it, I'm converting to full Christian in videos from now on, boys and girls. To heck with YouTube, darn those high-ranking corporate employees for all the good they've done in the past years. That's all I have to say about that. I think we have time to answer one question, so let's squeeze it in. What's my opinion on the Logan Paul situation? I'm a fair bit late to answer this question, especially since he's finally broken his silence, but Logan Paul did nothing wrong. He was very clearly not intending to offend anyone, and I know he is a very kind and humble human being. The goal of his content is always to entertain, and that video was not out of line at all. #LowGang for life. Dab on all the haters. Now, before you dislike for my 12-year-old opinion, you should have realized I was just kidding. Anyone defending him for his actions is either 10 or has a case of stage 4 low gang cancer. And yeah, his apology was not very sincere. Anybody with eyes could see right through his bullshit. Too bad in the end nothing is going to happen to his career and he'll be laughing all the way to bank. Only time will tell whether or not he's truly changed or if his PR team is working overtime for him. Alrighty, and that will conclude the video as Lolly Crystal goes for this massive rush and I am somehow unable to defeat it. #Steam Micro for the win. I swear I used to have faster hands back in the Flash days, so I guess I just have to start practicing again. That'll do it, folks. Keep on the lookout for a video called Yellow Bloon soon. And maybe BTDX and mods. And streams. Have a green day.